Hello, my name is Rahman Kodai, and welcome to the newest episode of Insights from an Autistic. I am a high-functioning autistic adult, and in today's video, I'm going to be discussing small talk, and my view on small talk and what I consider small talk, and hopefully some tips for individuals of autism on how to learn small talk, and perhaps even some tips for parents. So the first thing I want to get out of the way, before I go any further, I want to give a quick overview on my view on communication. I consider small talk a subset of communication. There are many forms of communication. You know, there's tactile communication, there's instructional communication, such as that you receive from a teacher or whatever. There's artistic communication like photography or movie. Reading something that can be a form of artistic communication. There's various forms of communication, and I strongly believe that communication, especially having been for my most life not being able to communicate or not having the awareness of how to communicate, I absolutely believe that communication is extraordinarily important. I believe that a lot of marriages could be saved. I believe that a lot of wars could be prevented. I believe that a lot of things overall a lot of viewpoints, a lot of people could come to better terms if we could communicate effectively and not allow fear to run our lives. This is not meant to be a philosophical sort of thing here, so I just want to quickly get into it. So I think communication is very important and something that we need to learn, everyone, not just individuals with autism. And small talk is one aspect of that. So first of all, what do I consider small talk? Well, I mean, just typical, like perhaps you're seeing an acquaintance that you don't really care about, just to put things in a mean fashion way, but and you say hi, bye, what did you have for lunch, how, what did you do over the weekend, blah 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 blah, how did the macaroni taste? Pointless stuff like that. Or even, say you're going to like church, and I don't know, my church, they hug people and stuff, so like they try to hug you, just to whatever, but you don't really know them too well. I consider that a form of small talk in a way, because it's pointless. And small talk is pointless stuff that is pointless, that people do all the time for whatever reasons it may be. One of the reasons I believe that small talk exists is because people need to reassure themselves. I think they lack confidence in themselves, and so by having other people give small talk, it gives them a reassurance. Personally, I found it pretty pointless most of my life. When I first started to become aware of other people around the 7th or 8th grade or so, or even a little bit before then, before I started to socialize and stuff, I started to notice a lot of people were small talking. Everywhere I went, I'm like, man, this is a pointless waste of time. And that's how I felt about it. I'd hear them on the bus talking about a backpack. Oh, this backpack has 3 zippers here and there. It's like, ooh, wow, you're talking about your backpack. It's like, who cares? But that is small talk. It's stuff that no one cares about, but you say it anyway. And you want to know the honest truth is, I felt sorry for these people. All these people that I realized that were having small talk, which is about everyone, I felt sorry for them that they couldn't spend their time better, or that they couldn't talk about more important things, such as, I don't know, how to try to maybe focusing on what they want to do, or plans, And I also consider sometimes complaining to be small talk, going back to what I consider to be small talk. People just complain. Oh, did you hear about the news? The president's doing blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. That's also small talk. And quite frankly, it's annoying. And I felt sorry for these people. And sometimes I still do feel sorry for them. I know this video is very different than my previous videos, but this is how I honestly feel about small talk. And I do small talk a little bit. I've improved tremendously. And I do believe it does serve a purpose. If it's just an acquaintance, I'm not sure if it serves a purpose. But for people that, family members that you're very close to, very close friends, if it's boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse, or whatever, I believe then you have to have some level of small talk, just to keep things going. But I mean, just for general everyday thing, it slows you down. It slows me down. That's how I felt about it. But one of the things that, even though I do feel this way, I have tried to learn it as best as I can. I have learned a lot of small talk, and I apply it to the degree that I believe I should apply it. And so I took an interpersonal communication course. I've mentioned this in my previous videos, and from there I really learned a lot about small talk. And actually, one of the main focuses of the class was small talk is everything. I don't know if I agree with that, but that class, really emphasized small talk, and so I practiced a lot of small talk during that time period that I was taking that class, and a lot of that has stuck with me, and so I feel pretty good about that. And just one last thing is that, I was talking about how I see it as a nuisance, and how I think it's pretty pointless. I believe that also just being silent with someone, just being there, while you're just doing something, taking a walk, or just sitting down, just being silent for 10 minutes, half an hour, even an hour. I mean, as boring as it may sound, I think that's really good communication sometimes. I think just being silent with someone and just appreciating the moment, it's good communication. And so if you're an individual of autism, what I recommend, or even for parents, what I recommend to learn small talk, first of all, just practice saying pointless stuff. Watch the news and bring up, something that you saw on the news. So go up to a friend and acquaintance, be like, "Did you hear about this on the news?" Or talk about, you'd be like, "Hey, what did you have for lunch?" Blah blah blah. Talk about pointless stuff. That's how you have small talk. And if you need subjects to talk about, brainstorming. That's what I had to do at the beginning when I started learning about that. I had to actually really brainstorm and really think hard about that. Ask them. You'd be like, "So do you go to school?" You probably already know the person, but so they're in school. Be like, "Hey, what classes are you taking?" Or what did you do in class today? Did you just ask? Even ask the most pointless questions. Be like, "Hey, what do you think about the color of the sky?" I don't know, but and for parents, just try to get your child to talk about stuff first and foremost. And then after they start talking about stuff, just get them to say, "All right, I want you to talk about anything at all. I don't care what it is. Just keep on talking. Ask me questions about these things. Ask me questions about the news. Watch the news with me, and then even though we watch together, tell me what I've thought about the news. Or even though we ate dinner, ask me, what did we eat for dinner?" And you have to start role-playing with the child. So that's what I recommend. So anyway, that is all I have to say. Thank you for watching this very different episode of Insights from Autistic, and I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down here. And thank you. Bye.